What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Basic Monsters podcast. I'm Ivan Vargas. As always, my boy Luke Nettles, and today's a big day. Today's rivalry day. Today is rivalry day, and cheap shots are a must. Cheap shots are a must. Not too much, but a must. But big game tonight. Thursday night football. Bears, Bucks. My Bears take on your Bucks. TB12 versus, I guess, Khalil Mack. I mean, who's the face of the Chicago Bears? Khalil Mack. We'll say Khalil Mack because there ain't nobody on offense.
That's for sure. Nick Foles needs to get. He's got to play, man. I was reading somewhere that his average passing yards last week earlier this week was only like 6 yards. Yeah, like moving the ball 6 yards and only running for 2.7 per carry. It's not going to get the job done. The front seven that you're facing today on the Bucs defense is really good at stopping the run. So
and they average the Bucs defense averages 2.6 yards a carry. Plus, on top of that, they average only 64 yards a game.
Yeah,
so something around there. The Bucs defense is no joke.
Right.
They're nothing to stick your nose up to. And the Bears are in trouble. Like the Bears got smacked down. I'm going to speak for my team. The Bears got smacked down. Like they got smacked down, beat up. I mean, anything you could think of that's degrading, it happened to them. Like it was embarrassing to say the least, man. Like the Colts came in there, they played Bears football against the Bears, punched them in the face, walked out of there with a victory, and left the Bears, bewildered. Where the hell do we go?
Right.
Where the hell do we go? And I think a lot of things need to change within 4 days, and I don't think you're going to change a whole hell of a lot. But maybe the execution gets better. There was a lot of poor execution 4 days ago against the Colts. Big plays downfield that didn't get that weren't connected on. Defensively, there was some miscues, and also definitely that offensive line. That offensive line was embarrassed by the Colts. Embarrassed. It wasn't close. I know the score says 19-11. The game might as well have been 45-2 because it wasn't close from the jump.
Yeah.
Now, on the contrary, you guys, big comeback win from Tom.
Yeah, big comeback. And it seems like the thing that's hitting Tampa right now is the injury bug is creeping up. Evans, he's going to go today, but I don't know that he's going to be so super effective.
He still has a hamstring.
Yeah, he still got. Well, I think it was his ankle that he got last game. But then Scotty Miller's going to play, so that's a plus too. So now we're really only down Watson and Godwin, which Godwin's a huge loss. So I'm looking at one of the tight ends. I don't care who it is. It's obviously not going to be O.J. Howard. He's out with the blown Achilles. But it's got to be either Brait or Gronkowski. One of them got to show up today.
Gronkowski can't be just a blocking type.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean let's just maybe who knows? Maybe they're snowballing all of us, and they're just going to have him block so teams get used to him blocking, and then come the playoff push, boom, here he comes. The old Gronk. Who knows? So maybe he's trying to acclimate himself, get back in. Who knows? But he's got to show up at some point. But our defense, like I said, the secondary, I think it's going to be the suspect. And so if the Bears can hold the line for Foles and let him throw down the field, I think that's going to be your best shot. Trying to do anything with that front seven is going to be kind of tough just because they are as good as they are. It should. I'm hoping it's a battle. I hope it's close. Like I hope it's like a boom, you hit me, I hit you back. It's like I hope it's like a prize fight. But we'll see.
I think the key is going to be how that Bucs running game attacks the Bears defense and how the Bears defense adjusts and attempts to stop that running assault because Rojo Jones Jr. He's been on fire. That was his best game last year, and he ran with a purpose. Mm-hmm. He ran with some anger, and that's not a good thing for the Chicago Bears. Coming in, the Bucs got, for me, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have all the momentum coming in off of that big win, and the Bears really have to figure out who the hell they are. And I'm quite sure the Bucs need to figure that out.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, they're still growing. Like I said, they're still learning. Like, just as long as every week those guys play together, they're learning something new about each other or the scheme or getting more familiar with the playbook. The longer the season goes on, the better the Bucs are going to get. I feel, minus the injury bug. But I can tell you who the Chicago Bears are. They are the team that plays in Tampa Bay in the late '90s, early 2000s. Well, after the Super Bowl.
Right.
Or even prior to the Super Bowl. You know, you had the great defense. Your quarterback situation was always iffy.
Mm-hmm.
Offense didn't really, you know, star strike anybody. It wasn't all bells and whistles, but that's who the Chicago Bears are. And I think the biggest thing for the Chicago Bears, and I mean, we talked about it. I told you, like, losing Vic Fangio is like, I mean, yeah, they still have talent, but they don't have the scheme. They don't play. It doesn't seem like the defense wants to play for Pagano.
They're not playing inspired.
Right. They don't. It seems like they don't want to play for him.
I don't know if they want to play for him more or less. Is that it's like you lose a guy like Vic. Everybody's connected to Vic Fangio. I mean, I get it, but you know, Chuck has his team. This team is number one in red zone defense. This team is number one in completion percentage for the opposing quarterbacks and in passer rating for the opposing quarterbacks. So the secondary. And the secondary is doing its job. The suspect part is there's no pressure being generated. Right. And there's this bend but don't break type of scheme. And I'm afraid Tom Brady's going to take advantage of that all game long. Yeah,
the good thing about it is, like, you know, that we got the rookie Wirfs in the draft, and he's been killing it.
That line's like kicking ass.
Yeah, he's been killing it.
It is. Last week they showed themselves. They're just like they're kind of nasty. They're nastier than the Bears' offensive line. I tell you, they're soft as shit.
Yeah,
soft as shit right now is that Bears' offensive line.
Yeah, the thing that does work in your favor is both Fuller and your rookie cornerback over there. They're in the top three for the least amount of passes caught.
Right.
So I mean, those seems to me like those guys. It's funny because it's like last year or a couple years ago, it was the Bears front seven that was just lights out.
Dominating.
Now it seems that it's flipped. Now the secondary's playing very good, and the front seven's kind of like, what are we doing again?
Right.
So if they all get on the same page at the same time, then yeah, they could definitely steal a few wins. And like I said, they need to have all the wins they could get now because they don't start playing division ball until like week 10. And
yeah, John, don't remind me about that. I'm looking at it as quarters. You know, you go by quarters of the season every month. For every 4 weeks, a new quarter of the season, and I'm looking at it as this is the first test of the new quarter. You went 3-1, cool. You did your job. You beat the teams you're supposed to beat in the first quarter of the season. Now you're not running into those easy teams, and you need to find an identity on offense. Who are the Chicago Bears? Like and I'm sure the Bucs are struggling with this too, but you guys have a little more struggle with the health than anything.
Yeah, that's our biggest foe right now.
Right, but the problem is, it's going to take some time because of that to find an identity in Tampa Bay. So you got two teams, and we talked about it since actually you have really been talking about it since last year. Two teams that eerily mirror each other,
right?
And they are really pretty much the same team. Tonight's going to be a who the hell are you game,
right?
Show me something game.
It's good, put up or shut up. I mean, that's got to be the motto for both teams going into tonight's game. I mean, it's both a short week for both teams.
Mm-hmm.
We're like I said, we're struggling with health. You're struggling with Nagy.
So Nagy ball.
Yeah, you're playing that Nagy ball over there.
With Nagy ball.
But yeah, I mean, I think tonight that it's going to be it's going to be fun to watch. I think it's going to be both the defenses. I think are going to shine tonight, which may suck for viewers because we like to see all the points supposedly. But I think if the defenses are on point, then it should be good. The other big thing you got to think about in this game is what if either quarterback gets hurt? What does that spell for anybody?
Oh, man, it's eerily mirroring each other. They have the same problems, these two teams. And, to be honest with you, if Mitch comes in, I think I'm comfortable with Mitch. The thing is that
I would definitely say you'd probably be better off than Tampa.
The thing is that we were expecting an explosion on offense last week with Nagy.
Mm-hmm.
That shit never came. You know what I mean? It was just like I said, there was a horrible lack of execution on the Chicago Bears' part. And, you had the same problems when it came to the Saints. Near loss.
Yep.
Those two, like the two losses and the two the two losses and the 3 wins. Like these teams, it's like I said, it's uncanny how they're pretty much the same. They're one and the same. And their fault, like I said, their faults mirror each other. The good things about them mirror each other. Like they're pretty much the same team. Who's going to get the upper hand? Who's going? Which team is going to find the spark where? That's pretty much where I'm looking.
The other crazy things, I think they both need to play the same game. Like they both have tremendous pass rushes,
right?
When they're working and clicking, So I'm looking for a lot of short passes today. You know, like just because with the lines, people coming through, it could go either way. It could be the Bucs blitzing all the time. It could be both of them blitzing all the time.
Also with Tom Brady, I'm worried about the Bears linebackers.
Yeah,
I'm worried about those Bears linebackers getting beat up by what was it, Scotty? Whoever the hell the new slot receiver is that Tom Brady loves.
Yeah, Scotty Miller.
Yeah, Scotty Miller, whatever. The other one. That's the next one is what I call him. But the Bears need to be in position on defense, or else Tom Brady's going to pick them apart.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady's going to pick them apart. That defensive line needs to generate some pressure. I don't know who to point the finger at anymore. I don't know what to say. Maybe just dig deep. Find something. Find that nasty within yourself, or else the guy across from you, he's gonna punk you. He's gonna beat your ass up and down the field throughout the game. You saw it. You saw what happened with Indianapolis. I don't want to see it again with the Bucs, and it very well might happen with the Bucs. The Bucs have a good offensive line, just like the Colts, and the Bears have been suspect against the run. And like you said, Ronald Jones Jr.
Yeah, big game last week. I mean, would I like to have Fournette for tonight? Yeah, for sure. Just to kind of keep some of the wear and tear down.
Another handler. Yeah.
Right, and just kind of changes it up. One's kind of your battering ram, one's more the scat back. I look for Jones to catch a lot of passes out of the backfield tonight too, just with that pass rush. Like I said, if you're able to maintain it and not let it affect you, then yeah, you could go ahead and open up. But if people start coming through and getting through, I look for there to be a lot of screens, short passes off parallel to the line. I don't know. I mean, that's why we play the game, I guess.
Yeah.
Who's better?
That's why you play. I mean, you play to win the game. But it's. Looking back on both teams, it's going to be a good one. I hope it is at least.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any means. I think it's going to be a close one. I had in the Barely pregame show, I had 26-20 Bears. I'm sure you have it a different way.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard. Games like this are hard because what the Bears defense can do. You just don't know if they're going to do it.
You don't know who's going to show up.
So, I mean, I'm going to go, obviously, I'll go a little higher than that. I'll say Brady throws 4 touchdowns and Bears put up 17. So 24-17.
24-17? 28-17?
3 touchdowns, a field goal, I'm sorry.
Okay, 24-17.
So we'll go 24-17.
Field goal difference? That doesn't sound bad. Doesn't sound too bad. But, all right, guys, well, you heard it here. I mean, it's going to be a good game. There's nothing really much more for us to say right now just because – the Bears are coming out in a short week. The Bucs are coming out in a short week. It's time to prove it. Like this is just a prove it game.
Right,
prove it for both of them. Show us who you are for both teams.
And if anything, I mean, it's building confidence. That's what you need. When you start stacking wins, and you start rallying from behind last week with Tampa. That's got them with that momentum going.
Right.
It's got them confidence.
Rallies,
it's got their confidence coming. So I think Tampa Bay has a little bit more of a luxury to kind of run some crazy blitzes just because they know they have the quarterback that can dig them out of a hole if they get there.
Right.
So I would say maybe that would be the one advantage that Tampa's defense has over Chicago's defense. But like I said,
you look for this one as a trend. I know it's not halfway through the season, but it is. It's halfway through the first half.
Yeah.
Let's look at it as Let's look at it as the foundations for the second half of the season. Who are you going to be? You got to find out within these next 4 weeks. The Chicago Bears and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they got to find out who the hell they are. They got to find out what they do well, what they don't do well, and they need to adjust from there. And if to be honest with you, I trust Bruce Arians and Tom Brady more than I trust Matt Nagy and whoever the hell they want to throw out there. It doesn't matter. It's the inconsistencies have just. They reached a boiling point with me. I need to see offense. I need to see consistency within your play calling. No running horizontal with the line. No running next on parallel with the line. Let's not run parallel with the line.
I don't understand why he's so in love with those plays.
Those 3rd and 1. Let's run a jet sweep. Those 3rd and 1. Let's throw it to our guy. On the outside that doesn't that hesitates and doesn't take off right away. Let's run it with our 6'4" wide receiver instead of our running back on a 3rd and 1. These things, it gets old.
Yeah.
The gimmicky shit gets old, man. It gets old. It gets tiring. It loses coaches' jobs. And right now, It just seems like Nagy's just, reaching and having the straws, dude. It looks like he's just reaching.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best thing for Matt Nagy would be to not just throw everything away and just start over. Just go back to fundamentals.
Somebody else.
Yeah, even that, or even let somebody call 50% of the game. If you want to play if you want to play from the get go,
right.
Cool. Then adjust throughout the game and hand it over to someone else. Like, there's no shame in it. You're all playing for the same reason, the same goal.
He's too emotionally involved.
Well, and I think he wants. I think he thinks that he should be talked about in the same circles as Andy Reid and those guys. Like,
right, but Andy Reid has all these same struggles too.
Well, yeah.
Like honestly, we forget about Andy Reid's struggles.
Yeah.
But we're not worried about Andy Reid, man. We're worried about your struggles.
That's just kind of how it comes off to me. It's like I feel like he feels like he should be talked about with some of these great coaches that are out there doing it right now. And it's just like, well, Matt, you like these guys got that way by doing something consistently. You're hit or miss, like big time.
You're hit or miss big time, and this is year 2 of miss. Oh well, it's not year 2 completely. It's still the first quarter of the season, but I don't like this first quarter. This first quarter was pretty much. It was pretty much good job. You guys got 3 wins, but it was kind of a miss.
Yeah.
From majority of that quarter, from majority of the games in that quarter.
Yeah. No, I mean, here's the thing too, with it being like this 4th week into the season, now's when you're going to start seeing these teams start gelling and start getting on the same page and start taking off because they've now had these reps that they would have had in preseason. Whether it be in practice or on the preseason games, like these guys are starting to get familiar. And a lot of, especially, I mean, it's around the league. It's not just with Tampa. And I'm hoping I don't want to see anybody go down tonight on either side. But the injury thing is huge. It's just like it seems like every game you watch, there's another catastrophic injury to somebody else, another ACL, another PCL, blown Achilles. It's just something. But yeah, I mean, you're starting to figure out and get used to your playbook, your routes. You're starting to develop all that stuff now. You're starting to grab timing and things like that. So from here on out. This is where and that's why I'm saying with the Bears, it's scary because this is the week that you should be clicking. If you're not clicking by this week, then I mean I don't know how many more reps you're going to need.
My last point on the Bears, you're 3-1, you're going in against another 3-1 team, and I need to see you need to show something.
Yeah.
You need to have a statement win. I don't care. I'm not talking about a blowout win. I'm talking about a statement win, one and not coming back from the Falcons or the Lions because everybody could be skeptical.
Different.
You could be skeptical about that whole situation.
Right.
You could say the Falcons are trash. You could say the Lions are trash. You know what I mean. You could even talk about the win against the Giants.
Yeah.
But a win against this team, it makes it a legit win.
Yep.
It solidifies you as okay. Maybe not pretenders. Maybe you are somebody. And I'm sure it's the same thing with the Bucs. If Brady executes again, throws 3-4 touchdown passes,
5.
Now you're talking about the Buccaneers looking really good.
Right. Like I said, gaining that momentum and that confidence, man, that's what it's all about.
This game this game could be the turning point in both seasons. And honestly, I don't think a loss for either team necessarily says it's over.
Oh, no.
But it can be a pivot. I think this is a pivotal point in this season for each of these teams. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Have you noticed we're actually in Luke's crib today because I got a softball game to run over to. Thanks, Josh. But after that, we're gonna go get you guys at halftime. The game will be over right before the kickoff. Right, yeah. So we'll be back in my basement for the half and the post game. This has been the Basement Monsters podcast. I'm Ivan Vargas for Luke Nettles. We'll see you guys at the half. Peace.
I just heard my favorite band is in town. I'd love to get good seats, but everywhere I've looked, the ticket sites have crazy service fees.
Haven't you heard of TixBlitz?
Who?
TixBlitz. They don't gouge you with crazy fees. The price they advertise is the price you pay, plus a small delivery fee.
Never pay service fees again. Go to TIXBLITZ.com today. TixBlitz.com. Guaranteed seats, low prices. That's TixBlitz.com. Every ticket, every venue, everywhere.